Guys, today's story is one of the most unsettling examples of how single lie can shake an entire community. We are talking about the woman known online as the Brick Lady, whose real name is Roa Osman. For many people, this situation wasn't just about false claim. It became a spark that unleashed anger, division, and even emotional warfare across social media. Her story fueled arguments between black men and black women, encouraged some of the most hateful statements online, and convinced thousands of people to donate to her GoFundMe out of pure sympathy. But once the truth came out, that story wasn't just exaggerated but fabricated. Many of the same voices that spread the original narrative suddenly disappeared. No accountability, no apology, no correction. What we are left with now is bigger than one scam. It's the damage done to trust, to community, and to future victims who genuinely need to be believed. Well, let's break down how this all unfolded.
And I also want to just say that the first time that they started to lie about me, the first thing that they did when they started this hate campaign was they mass reported my TikTok and my Instagram because they cannot handle me speaking, because they know that when I speak, all the evidence and all of the receipts lie with me. And they know that every time that I just express myself, that it discredits all of their lies. Because they're just not true. They're so ridiculous. So hopefully I won't be silenced. And hopefully they won't crash out, but I'm sure they will. And I'm sure they will try to silence me, but I am no longer afraid, and I will not be stopped, and I will not be silenced. You will not erase me.
Who raised over $40,000 on GoFundMe, is now being charged with theft by deception.
What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this?
Rhoda Osman told cops that she was hit in the face with a brick outside a Houston club after she refused to give out her phone number. But footage capturing the incident does not support Rhoda's report, according to charging documents. And cops say a similar GoFundMe was created in 2020, where she claimed to be assaulted with no reports on record. GoFundMe told an NBC affiliate that the fundraiser has been removed from their platform, and Rhoda has been banned from creating future fundraisers.
Black men, can we say justice is served? Because there was so many black women in those same comments talking about, oh, we picked the bear. Black men don't help black women. Black men don't protect black women. We are out here by ourselves. Who's going to protect us if the black men don't want to protect us? The guy hit her with a brick because she didn't want to give him my number. Black men are terrible. I don't see all those black women now. Now that the facts are out, now that she is found guilty of her false accusations, now that she is found guilty from taking money from the very people that supported her, which is you black women. Y'all supported her and said she was right about everything. You emasculated men. You said black men were trash. You said black men were good fathers. You said black men weren't good providers. You did everything to emasculate black men when that post came out about her falsifying a man hitting her with a brick. And she took y'all money because y'all supported that GoFundMe. You supported the one in 2020, and then you supported the recent one that she did. It's so easy to fool these women, man. All you got to do is say a man did something and he's just guilty by default.
So y'all remember Brick Lady, right? Y'all remember the girl that got on live and got on the internet and say that she had been hit with a brick in her face, and all women came to rally for her, including me. Yes, I can admit I rallied for her. Well, baby, she has been found guilty. Guilty as hell. Now, she stated she was attacked, but when the video came out, she was actually the aggressor. So Rhoda Osman has been sentenced to 90 days. And that $42K that she raised, baby, that has to go back to everybody. She's got to pay restitution. Now, on top of that, she gets 10 years probation. And then if she fucks up on her probation, baby, she's going to spend 10 years in jail. And I know she can't afford that shit because she does have a child. Y'all need to stop coming up on this internet making lies and accusations. Because these days, everybody has a phone. And what's going to end up happening is people are going to dig. And y'all know TikTok. TikTok are investigators. They're better than the fucking FBI. And you know what? I think this may be good for her. And some people don't need to be on social media at all. Girl, I got to brush your teeth. Your breath stank.
I might as well chime my 2 cents into it because I was one of the larger creators that defended Ro at the time when she made the video about her getting hit in the face with the brick. and men stood around and did nothing. There are a lot of mitigating circumstances of why I believed her. Do I regret that I believe her? No. I said what I said and I meant what I said at the time that I said it, and I stand on business with it. Now, as more information was presented, oh well, I have the right to change my mind based off of the information that is presented, but it has taught me a very valuable lesson. Now, this wasn't something that happened a couple months ago. This happened 2 years ago. I remember this because I had moved into my studio at the time that it happened. Now, while I know that there are going to be a lot of black men that's going to be in my comment section thinking that they are feeling some type of restitution, there are a lot of mitigating factors on why I leaned the way that I leaned. One, there was visible signs of injury on her face. Two, she isn't the first case where a woman rejected a man's advances and she was either assaulted or she was killed. Come on now. In India, if a young woman rejects a man returns and throws acid in her face. The number of times where young women have been shot, stabbed for rejecting men's advances. A young woman was shot in the face because she was at a party and a guy came up on her and started grinding on her. She said no, he killed her. A set of twins were at a baseball game and a guy tried to shoot his shot. One of the twins said no, and she was stabbed to death. There were a lot of mitigating factors on why myself, along with other women, were like, this was fucked up. And then for me, and I can only speak to the engagement that I had on my page, men were outing themselves. Women are not worth protecting. Women are not worth saving. See, please don't remix history, because I could sit there and pull the receipts. I could pull the comments. It wasn't a matter of whether or not she was lying. That wasn't even a debate. That wasn't even a discourse. It was the fact that men were up in my comment section talking about black women do not deserve any form of respect, protection, or any of that shit. That's what the fuck y'all was saying. So miss me with that shit. You ain't about to sit there and gaslight, because I have the comments to sit there and prove that. I said what I said and I meant what I said at the time that I said it, based off of the information that was presented. But it wasn't men coming up in my comment section talking about she's lying, I don't believe her. There were men coming up in my comment section talking about women do not deserve protection. And that women shouldn't be treated with any form of dignity and respect. So miss me with that bullshit.
We tried to tell y'all people, and y'all tried to say we were being misogynist. So y'all remember this lady right here, Osman, who went viral on here a couple of months ago because she got on here and said that a man hit her with a brick and then another man beat her up. And while she was telling that story, a lot of us creators got on here and said the shit she's saying doesn't make sense. I had all type of people stitching my videos, calling me everything under the sun because I was victim blaming. Now, today, she has officially been found guilty and convicted of her lies. And the man that she lied on has finally got some type of justice, because she will be spending the next 90 days in jail. She will have to go to rehab. She will also have to pay $42K in restitution, because remember, when she was lying about that incident, she made a GoFundMe scamming her followers out of $40K. Not only that, she will have 10 years probation and she will have a 10-year social media ban, which is probably going to hurt her the worst. We say believe all victims, but not when they're clearly lying. And even when the video came out from the club showing that she clearly hit herself in the face with the brook, we still had creators on this app trying to defend her.
When Roa Osman posted her video in 2023, claiming a man hit her in the face with a brick because she refused to give him her number, the internet exploded. People took her story as face value, and the reaction was immediate and intense. Within hours, large creator platforms were pushing the narrative, framing it as proof that black men refuse to protect black women. The arguments were loud, emotional, and deeply personal. The trend turned into an online battlefield, with people attacking one another based on a claim that hadn't even been verified. The story grew so quickly because it challenged real fears and real frustrations that exist in the community. And while those issues absolutely matter, this particular situation was being used as fuel for a fire built on a lie. Once the surveillance footage came out showing she wasn't hit with a brick and actually initiated the altercation, things shifted. Investigators determined she likely fell into a car door while intoxicated. And while the truth was unfolding, the GoFundMe she created had already surpassed $42,000, money that was later proven to have been spent on luxury items and vacations. This entire situation forces us to look at the long-term consequences, not just the sentence Roa Osman received, which includes 90 days in jail and 10 years of probation, not just the requirement that she pay back the full $42,000, but the damage she left behind for others. And this is where the real harm begins. When a lie reaches millions of people, it doesn't fade quietly. It sticks. It becomes a reference point. Something people bring up again and again whenever real victims try to, speak up. This is what many have called the boy who cried wolf effect. And unfortunately, it's especially harmful to Black women who already face skepticism when reporting harm. Because of this one viral scam, a genuine victim who comes forward tomorrow may have to, overprove her pain. She may need witnesses, video evidence, timestamps, character references just to, be taken seriously. That is the fallout of a lie that becomes a spectacle. It raises the burden of proof for everyone who looks like the person who lied. And then there's the issue of unity. Before this situation, conversations about protecting Black women were already, complex and emotional. After this incident, those conversations became even more fragile. Some people now treat legitimate concerns as exaggerated because they associate them with what Osman did. Instead of strengthening solidarity, her actions created fractures. The sudden part is many of the people who went the hardest, the people who used this story to unleash some of the most hateful statements imaginable, never returned to acknowledge how wrong they were. They didn't retract the cruel things they said about Black men. They didn't apologize for the comments about Black boys. They just moved on. But their words didn't disappear. They helped shape a narrative that viewed an entire group of people as villains based on a lie. That kind of selective outrage works like poison. It's loud and aggressive when the story fits a narrative, but silent and evasive when the truth comes out. Silence may seem harmless, but in this context, silence is dangerous. It allows false accusations to remain untouched, uncorrected, and available to be recycled in future arguments. And then there's the financial aspect. A lot of people donated. Why? Because they saw a woman who appeared to be hurt. They saw a swelling on her face. They saw tears. They saw vulnerability. They believed they were helping someone who had been violently attacked. They donated out of compassion. Finding out later that the money went to luxury items and vacations is a slap in the face to every person who acted out of kindness. But the consequences go even further. Platforms like GoFundMe now have to look at this case as a warning. They permanently banned her, but future victims who genuinely need help may face more skepticism. Fundraisers may have stricter verification. People may, hesitate before donating next time. The ripple effect keeps expanding. And then we get to the part many people are scared to talk about. The content creators who push sensational stories without fact-checking. Some of them built entire panels, entire followings, entire communities around one rage-based content. They didn't vet anything, they didn't question anything, they just amplified. And after the truth came out, many of those Same creator quietly deleted their videos or changed the subject, hoping nobody would notice. But people noticed. They noticed how quickly misinformation spreads when it confirms a belief someone already has. They noticed how some creators seem more committed to conflict than truth, and they noticed how easily the internet can destroy someone's reputation before facts are revealed. Even the justice system had to respond. Osman's sentence includes a probation term that forbids her from using social media at all. Her actions on social media platforms were destructive enough that the court banned her from using them for a decade. That alone speaks volumes about how the digital world directly contributed to the level of harm this situation caused. The tragedy here is that this didn't have to, happen. If she had been honest, none of this fallout would exist. No division, no hateful commentary, no community-wide mistrust, no exploited donors, no legal consequences, but instead, we are left with a cautionary tale. This is a reminder that truth matters, evidence matters, accountability matters. And when we ignore those things, when we choose speed over accuracy, emotions over facts, and conflict over clarity, we end up here. A lie becomes a wildfire, and the truth shows up only after the damage has already been done. Guys, drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Also, remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye-bye.